Hey everyone, it's Andy here. Just thought I'd put together this video. I threw some screen caps up on the Discord on the weekend of this little island that I made, sort of getting my head around the Unreal Engine, and had some feedback. So I thought I'd throw this together just to sort of show the process, and maybe it'll be interesting. I don't know, maybe I'll just sound like a rambling fool, but if you enjoy it, let me know. So yeah, bit of background. Basically, one thing I've wanted to do for a long time is learn my way around the Unreal Engine. As far as game engines go, there's the two big players really are Unity and Unreal, and I'm pretty well across Unity, but I've never really dug that far into Unreal before. So thought this would be a good opportunity, especially with like Unreal 5 coming out. There's some really cool new features in the Unreal Engine that I was thinking would probably be awesome for to use in Gyris, but obviously need to get my head around it first. So this was one thing that I've done. I mean, a lot of game programming is just coding. It's not super interesting to look at, but this was kind of a little bit different. So yeah, I should preface this by saying that I'm definitely not not an artist by any stretch. Um, so the extent to which this came out looking kind of cool is more a factor of the tool being used than any artistic ability on my part. So yeah, once the actual artists get into it, get their hooks in this, making some Gyros landscapes, they're going to look tons better than this. But it kind of just shows what the Unreal Engine can do with very little sort of tweaking. This is kind of all pretty out of the box type stuff. I hit play here. There's a little dude. So this is the standard Unreal avatar, third person. Obviously, we haven't got any Gyros characters into this format just yet, but when we do, we can replace him with one of the Gyros characters. But you can kind of see the lighting in particular, and all the kind of volumetric fog and those like light bars coming in through when he obscures the sun is pretty cool. Similar with like the lighting effects on the water. Yeah, all the lighting is super cool. It runs pretty well on my machine, which is a pretty bog standard sort of gaming laptop. Yeah, so I'll find there's another spot. I'm just going for a little explore here, but there's another spot over here where anywhere where the light kind of breaches over is pretty slick. Like that looks pretty badass, I reckon. Yeah, so anyway, I'll run this video that I made. So one thing that I do when I'm like getting my head around something new is I'll just like make a screen capture video of the whole thing. Basically because it's the easiest way to go back and remember how I did something. So I figured I'd take this video, which was like three or so hours, and crunch it down, and then just play it and talk over it. And yeah, hopefully this is kind of interesting. As you can see, it all goes pretty quick, but this is starting out with making the geometry. So I actually pulled the height map data for an island in Papua New Guinea called Bougainville, which I thought was kind of appropriate because it's the homeland of Equal Playing Field, our charity partner. If you don't know about that, jump on, read the white paper, read all about the awesome work that Equal Playing Field does in Papua New Guinea that you'll be supporting if you support the Gyros project. So yeah, basically I pulled that height map data in. It's scaled right down. It's a massive island. So this is scaling that height map data down, made some weird artifacts. So then I've sort of gone through with the modeling and sculpting tools in Unreal and sort of played around with it. So some of this stuff, if you want to bring it in and make it look good straight out of the box at scale, you can kind of do some image processing to the actual height map itself. But I kind of wanted to play around with the kind of terrain tools, the sculpting and eroding tools, and get my head around that. So I just sort of got it to a good starting off point, and then kind of went through by hand and had a bit of a play around, which is what's happening now. You can see every now and again I hit play and run around with a little Unreal guide just to check out what it looks like. Yeah, so then jumped into, this is Quixel Bridge, they call this. So Quixel is just a library of tons and tons of assets. So these are all just textures that I've grabbed and put together to make to paint basically this landscape. So and this is all putting together a shader, so a material graph shader. So this sort of graphical language that you can use. This is this similar thing in Unity. So basically a shader is the way that a graphics card fills in pixels essentially. So you've got geometries of the 3D, data, and then you need to tell the graphics card how to fill that in with colors and textures and how the light bounces off it, all that sort of stuff. So that's all done with shaders. And this particular shader is all about being able to paint, with these landscape tools in sort of multiple different textures over the top of each other. As you can see, sort of coming together here. So I've started off with sand, then you can sort of paint. I think what happened there is that the rock texture I was using was a bit rubbish, so I went and changed it out, swapped it out with a different one. So you can sort of paint and then erase and add noise and sort of blend layers together. So you can sort of see I've started with everything is did a quick bit of googling there for some reason. Everything is basically sand, and then I've gone over and done a layer of sort of grass here over all the mountainous regions, and then sort of blended that in around the bottom. This is all kind of pretty fun actually. It's pretty therapeutic going through and doing this stuff. Don't get to do much of this when you're more of a game logic programmer, so this was a bit of a departure for me, so I had a bit of fun with it. And so you can see sort of like rocks going in over the grass, just kind of trying to follow the contour of the landscape, and I'm sort of going backwards and forwards, sort of resculpting bits that I found that were a bit jagged. So this stuff around the edge here looked a bit rubbish, so I've gone and looked a bit jaggedy, so I turned into some rocks. And then basically, following the contours of sort of the tops of the landscape with a bit of rock. I made a little path through the middle there just for fun, just to give us something to explore. And then I think eventually moved on to painting on the foliage. I was working on some little features around here and there, smoothing, pinching, eroding. There we are. Testing that with the little Unreal Man. Oh no, so I've gone back into the Quixel Bridge. So that Quixel Bridge has just tons of sort of assets that you can download. So I've just found a few rocks and things and sort of thrown them in there just to test that out. Basically just testing out a thing called the Nanite engine, which is an Unreal 5 edition, which, without going into too far into the technical details, just lets you upload meshes that are really high detail. One thing that's can be pretty onerous with game design is getting the polygon count of your assets down. So 3D films and that sort of thing will use really high counts, and you'll get really smooth a really smooth finish. But you've usually got to dumb that down a little bit when you come into a video game, because it's got to do everything in real time. But the Unreal 5 engines can handle a hell of a lot more polygons. So I was just testing that out, and now you can see here, painting on all the foliage. And this is so I've sort of added the actual water in. So the water that was in there up until now was just kind of a placeholder. So I've gone and imported some water using just the standard water plugin from Unreal, which just looks awesome straight out of the box. So that's water, and then this is all lighting. So see, I sort of took all the lighting out of the scene and then built it back up using sort of proper lights, sunlight that you can move around, and sort of all that volumetric fog. Gives you all those cool light bar effects and things. And this is probably just about it, I think. Yeah, there it is. So, that's that. Hopefully that was kind of interesting. It's still running in the background, but there you have it. That's my one of the bunch of little tests or tryouts that I've been doing myself to sort of get my head around this Unreal Engine, Unreal 5, and it is super awesome. So looking forward to learning heaps more of it, and getting stuck into it with some Gyris art, which would be super sick. So yeah, hope you guys found that interesting. Let me know. I've never done one of these before, so hopefully I didn't just sound like a rambling lunatic and you got some value out of it. But yeah, let me know on the Discord what you reckon. See ya.